Mr. Santiago Calderon held the position of municipal trustee in Mazatlan in 1864. On May 4, after a review of the layout of Tacuba Street, today Heriberto Frias, he prepared a report on a series of anomalies, which he noted in this part from the city. In those years, the town hall worked in a rented farm on the main street, today Belisario Dominguez. In it, he stated that Tomasa Osuna, she raised a second floor on the farm of her recent property, in front of the Plaza de Armas of the city, what today is the Plaza Machado. The said farm has a portal that, in all its width, is outside the line, or what is the same, occupies the street. The reasons that the authorities may have had, from the time it was manufactured would be good, because perhaps there were circumstances that required it. But today, when it comes to building on top of it, and this, in my opinion, matters nothing less than the sanction of a line, which affects public decoration, for which reason, the City Council must pay attention to it and resolve what is most convenient. I must inform the corporation that the land occupied by the aforementioned farm, including the portal, is the property and domain of Mrs. Osuna, who has valid titles recognized by the undersigned, and that by making this statement, I am not proposing a question of law, but rather a decorative motion, which can be dealt with without prejudice to justice. The City Council, which has the duty to attend to its public improvements, will see in my mission the desire to fulfill my duty, indicating in what comes to my knowledge, and will serve to discuss, if they are to their liking, the following proposals. 1 St. This matter is declared as of obvious resolution. 2 Nd. The Adornment and Finance Commissions will appear tomorrow with Donna Tomasa Osuna, to find out the price or value at which she wants to cede the land that the portal occupies, and if it is possible for the City Council to make this disbursement. By to get the clearance of that part that you want to manufacture. 3 Rd. In the next session, resolve definitively not to harm Mrs. Osuna in the progress of her work. Here it is pertinent to clarify that the layout of the streets of the center did not yet begin in 1864, and that therefore, each owner built as it was convenient for him. The alignment of the streets was at their own discretion, for reasons of aesthetics or ornament. Another aspect is that the aforementioned farm was sold since Mr. Machado considered that it was a victim of frequent flooding. That reason was what prompted Mrs. Tomasa Osuna to protect her property with high sidewalks, and that the land that the aforementioned street occupied was also hers. 50 days later, the Joint Commissions of Ornament and Finance presented to the Cabildo their opinion on the matter, where they stated, "It is true that said portal is outside the line that it should have, since at one end it occupies about 2/3 of the width of a street, while at the other, it completely closes it. You only have to see its situation, to agree that it is up to the City Council, which is animated by the desire to enlarge the Plaza de Machado by regularizing it, order the demolition of that portal, which exists against all the rules of good taste, making this measure all the more necessary, since the indicated street will thus be disentangled. The public will have easy passage through it, and the aforementioned square will have more space, favoring ventilation, which is so necessary for public health in this climate. On the other hand, we must remind this City Council, which the trustee Calderon states very well in his report, that allowing it to be manufactured on that portal would matter nothing less than the sanction of a line to the street it occupies, to which opposes good sense. Prevent its manufacture, without ordering the street to be cleared, agreeing on the corresponding compensation. We do not believe that it is within the powers of the municipal body, and therefore, there is no other way to bring this material improvement to an end, other than agreeing on the demolition of that portal, with the formalities that the laws prescribe, and in this case, only it would be necessary to examine the matter regarding funds for compensation. The commissions see that the municipal treasury is not so depleted of funds, that at a given moment, for example tomorrow, it can disperse the value of the compensation, which calculated prudently, the commissions understand, will not reach 1,500 pesos. But they are convinced that by dividing that value into 2 or 3 monthly installments, the city council funds can cover this expense, which on the other hand should not be excused, because if time is allowed to pass, without carrying out this improvement, when later they want to carry it out, it will cost the same fund 3, 4, or 5,000 pesos, a sacrifice avoided, if an effort is made this time. Therefore, the United Commissions, after a careful examination, submit to the deliberation of this body, the following propositions. 1. St. The portal that is located to the west of the Plaza de Machado, known as the Lady Donna Tomasa Osuna, will be leveled to regularize the line of the street, which continues to the north of said portal. 2. Nd. 2 experts are appointed to value that property, doing so in writing before the receiver Sebastian Calderon. 3. Rd. Once the provisions of the previous proposal have been fulfilled, this City Council will proceed to indicate the compensation corresponding to Article 41 of the Law of April 23, 1861. 4th. Once the respective compensation has been received, by the interested party or in case of resistance, depositing it, the portal will be demolished. In the following session of the Cabildo, such opinion was approved, reforming only in its first proposal, to be as follows. 1. St. For reasons of public utility, the expropriation of the portal is decreed, which is located to the west of Plaza de Machado, known as Mrs. Tomasa Osuna. Consequently, it was ordered to extend the relative point, communicating it to the political authority for its publication. The City Council ordered the treasurer to collect from the House Echeguren, Quintana y Compañía, the sum of 1,200 pesos, and to keep it in deposit under the strictest responsibility of him, since they were intended to compensate the owner. Here is another important point. The Echeguren House did not have to get their hands on this matter, since it was a civil conflict between 2 unrelated parties. When the district prefect, Colonel Ignacio Maria de Escudero, was notified of the City Council's decision, he sent the following response dated May 6. Tax that you sign of the decree of the City Council, on the expropriation of the portal of the estate of Donna Tomasa Osuna, which you accompanied me to your office dated yesterday, I cannot help but observe the following. 1. St. That the demolition of said portal does not bring any public utility, and would only serve as a simple decoration due to the widening of the street, but that it would always remain misaligned and crooked. 2. Nd. That the state of the municipal fund does not allow dispersing an unsuccessful expense in amount, in the previous compensation, which according to the law, must be in cash, whose disbursement, even when it could be done in the present circumstances, would be better used in objects of war, to repel foreign invasion and save the motherland. 3. Rd. That looking at the front of the portal to a public square, and place of recreation for the concurrence, its existence is not only ornamental, but more useful on the part of it, which can take shelter from a sudden rain and from the sunlight. 4th. That even when the city has another square in the future, it will never be too much to seek the largest number of cleared locations, which provide more health and ventilation to the neighborhood, and in that case, the portal does not get in the way and also gives sight. For these considerations, and with the confidence that the illustrious body to whom I am addressing, will serve to meditate its resolution again, I allow myself to propose the non-demolition of the portal, and that the owner be obliged for the sake of adornment for the city, for the upper part to be a factory of good taste.